Thank you.
Hi, Isaac.
Well, thank you.
Hi, everybody. Hugely grateful. Thank you.
Thank you. Ah,
Yeah.
hi.
Hey, say, please. I always have this restaurant thing. It's like food coming here, and the funny word of restaurant. Mm. Without becoming fat. You look great, by the way.
Oh, thank you.
Oh man. It's so different than the rest of the worldly stuff. Yummy. Um, thank you, everyone.
Come on. bottom right.
Sorry, yeah, I couldn't see my mouse on the screen.
Sorry.
Hi, Isaac.
Hi.
Just wanted to rest a little.
Why only a little?
A lot is also good.
Why put any amount on it?
It feels a bit like the opposite at the moment. There's so much peace and openness, and the system is like, I want to rest in that. And it's just,
Taking a moment. So this what I want, what's that? This is peace, okay, and then thought, I want.
it's opening up more, yeah. Yeah, it feels more free now, yeah. And I don't know why, but I have the feeling of being available. Yeah.
In all of this, who are you? Aware of being more available, aware of thoughts, of feeling freer, anything. Who is that? What is that?
It's free and everything. Thank you, Isaac.
Lily. Lily. Hi, Lily.
Hi, Isaac. I have to pin you. One moment.
Okay.
I know, now it works. All happens by itself. Even raising the hand.
Faturi.
Hello, beloved.
Hi. Dick. Hey, Dick.
No questions, but just
No problem. Easy. Anything that wants to speak, you're welcome. I need to.
Thank you.
Come on. Hey, come on.
Hello, Isaac. I would like to ask you about the pattern of judgment. I noticed in myself, it sometimes comes up very strongly, but for particular subjects only. And I was trying to investigate it, like I want to undo it because I see that this judgment hurts me, like it's a very unpleasant state. But I think I don't see fully why
Okay.
I have this judgment.
No problem. So let's make a distinction. What's the difference between judgment and discrimination?
Judgment and discrimination.
Yeah.
I think probably judgment is just like an opinion, and discrimination is like it's more strong, like you want to cancel out someone.
Keep playing this. So if we're discriminating, so discrimination is very fine. Yeah, there's no emotional charge to it. It's just seeing very, very finely.
Okay, I understand now. Okay.
Yeah. So judgment carries an emotional component, an emotional load. Yeah.
Yes,
So of
exactly.
course, then there's a price to pay. But so, like discrimination, you meet someone or what looks like someone, and you sense there's patterns playing, and you sense how those patterns play. And you see it, you just see it. It's not them, they don't have a choice, it's just a pattern playing. But you're aware if in someone there's the pattern of, I'll say, use a silly one, stealing, for example, taking something that doesn't belong to them. In some cultures, it's called stealing. In other countries, it's called the government. But okay, so in other countries, it's called the mafia. Yeah. So whatever we see, there's that game going on. Whatever. And then some people, maybe we've stolen once or twice in our life. I don't think there's anyone who's never stolen anything, but it doesn't matter, it's okay. But there's some people that it's a habit. So to see that is just seeing it. You're just seeing clearly. But to have a judgment, then it's like, oh, it's wrong to do that, or it's bad, or something like that.
Yes. And in my case, for example, like this judgment comes up for these behaviors from people like prostitution, infidelity, this sort of connected to relationship. And I also noticed that I particularly judge men for this. Like if women is like, I don't judge them strongly. So I have a feeling that it's somehow related to trauma.
Yeah, so rather than judging the judging, we can see that judging has a function. In some ways,
defense?
It's a defense. It's a defense, yeah. And then what's it trying to defend against?
I investigated it, and I feel like just recently I had this situation. I spoke to a person, to a man who is like that. I just know from somebody else that he's like that. I spoke to him like for a few minutes, and so maybe I picked up energetically, but instantly there's such a strong way of judgment about him came up. And I was like looking inside, and I feel like, okay, it seems like my system, because it knows about him, it sees him as potential threat, although it was not directed at me at all. But
Yeah. So the question is, what function does that judgment serve? You said it's trying to protect you
yes, from potential harm.
from potential harm. Okay, so it's trying to help.
Yeah, but it does the opposite.
Okay, so it's exactly. So now all we're doing is we're discerning. This is discernment as opposed to judging the judgment. We see that the judgment is trying to help. And then we recognize, actually, it doesn't. And it's trying to take the place of just discernment, of clear seeing. So instead of having to see clearly, it's just like a blanket defense. And it doesn't work.
Yeah, so I have come to this point, and also I was like thinking about these people. Okay, why don't judge women? Because I understand, okay, maybe it's their situation. And then I analyze all these people, men I knew who were like this, and I understand them, like they were traumatized or something. So, but this understanding which I give, it doesn't help me to stop this.
Yeah. So there's a pattern playing. So if it was up to you, would that pattern be there?
No, I would just, okay, they're not in my
So
life.
so you can see that pattern, you're not doing it because if it was up to you, it would not be there.
Yes,
So
it's like a
this pattern,
cycle.
this pattern is there, even though you can see clearly that it has a high cost.
Yes.
So now there's awareness, there's a pattern playing. It's trying to help. And there's a questioning of it. But it's going in the direction of, go say, if you're just present right now, and you just here, and you recognize there's a pattern that moves into judgment around men and sexuality and whatever, and it's trying to protect you. It's not wrong, it's not bad, and you see it doesn't actually help. And at the same time, you can see that maybe in your past or something, your system was attracted to a man who had those patterns running, and some hurt happened, or maybe it happened to your mother or someone in your ancestry. But somewhere there wasn't discernment to see, okay, yes, that pattern is playing, and it's not something that's nurturing. And so there was a jumping over or going with an attraction or something, and then hurt happened. But not seeing, okay, whoever, whether it was in your ancestry or whether it was in your own circumstance, not seeing that there was a jumping over and then projecting it onto the man. So not seeing what the participation was. So you meet, you're a young woman, or youngish, I could say, and life at this stage of life just wants to make more life. It's looking for, you could say it wants to be touched and wants to have sensuality and it wants to have pleasure, just the pleasure of sweet sensuality in a way that's healthy for you. But again, we've grown up where there's not very many healthy models of that. So, I've asked thousands of people at this point, how many of you would like to relate just like your parents related? And nobody said, yes, so that's exactly what I'm looking for. Because we've never had a healthy model. So, there's that interest to meet sweetly, but yet not knowing how. So again and again, keeping and finding ourselves in circumstances that actually are terribly painful for us. And then, it's like, well, maybe we come up with some spiritual concept, oh, I have to be brahmacharya, or I have to be celibate, or something. But there's still this pull to want to, unless you're just naturally like Ramana, there's no pull at all. But if there is, there's some aliveness, and because it's one of the more pleasurable things life has to offer, the capacity to meet sweetly with another nervous system in a way that's in tune, like fine music or like fine dancing or something. But yet, we've got so much experience of not seeing clearly and hurt happen and being confused about that. It's like, oh, they hurt me, something like that. And so the judgment is just a means of trying to make sure that that doesn't happen again, ever. But it guarantees it'll happen again.
Yeah, that's true.
Yeah.
One thing which I think is not 100% clear here for me. So I think probably the judgment continues because this original hurt, which happened somewhere in the past, it's probably not healed. And I was trying to
So, no, wait 1 second. Yeah, so that's one way of looking at it. But, what does healed mean? Let's so we're here now, and we know that when we're just gently present, there is no problem. Isn't it?
Yes.
Okay. So in this gentle presence, anything is welcome to arise. So not healed means somehow we're concerned that automatically our attention will be directed in the way that is painful to us. That's what we call not healed.
I was thinking, for me, not healed meant like when the original hurt happened, or maybe it was generational trauma, somebody had a wrong perception of this situation. Like they didn't understand, okay, this person is traumatized or whatever. Like it's not personal.
It's
so
not
they had their
personal.
own vision.
Yeah, and also, so let's just look at hurt itself. Okay, so I think all of us have experienced hurt in some form or another, yeah?
A lot.
Okay. So we just look, what is hurt? Can hurt happen if there's no expectation?
Yes, hurt is actually like a broken expectation.
It's a broken expectation. Okay, yeah. And did anyone force us to have that expectation?
No, it was there by default.
Okay.
In the mind.
Okay. So nobody did it to us, and we didn't do it to ourselves. It was just running in the background, an expectation that was not noticed. and was probably considered of high value.
Yeah.
In this moment, is there any expectation now with what you call me? And it's just a question, not that there should be or that there shouldn't be, just a question to look and see, is there? We're resting here, we just play and see. Okay.
At the moment, no, there is no expectation. But in general, in life, yeah, I think there's so many expectations from
Okay.
yourself.
Okay. So, and if we look, if it was up to us, would we live life looking through expectations all the time, or would we? I mean, would that be something we do consciously, or is it something that happens unconsciously?
Yeah, it definitely happens unconsciously.
Okay, cool. So whenever we find an expectation, it's actually like finding gold, because that expectation will show up as hurt every time. It's inherent in it. So it's not about not having any expectations, it's around starting to notice what expectations there are that haven't been looked at and explored. So we find an expectation, okay, I expect someone to be kind or nice to me or love me or like me, or any expectation under the sun, doesn't matter. If it's believed in, for sure they'll be hurt. No question. That's generic, it doesn't belong to anybody personally. It's just how it functions.
Yeah, you know, this leads me to one very related question.
Okay.
I think I've reviewed this before, that, okay, no expectations from relationship from men because people are different. But I think what this
relationship, this idea of relationship carries with it many hidden expectations.
Yes, that's true.
Because relationship is a noun, it's a something, it's an idea. Relating is not.
Yes, so I think what this whole subject touched in me at a deeper level is this expectation how life should be. And I recognize that I always had this idea from childhood in my mind that life should be like, you should live your life exchanging love with people. Like, it sort of has to be good interaction. You give love, you share love, but actually people like sort of appreciate it. They're supposed to appreciate it, you know. And if and I think what those situations.
So as an expectation, that's going to be terrible. As an interest, yes, I am interested in being in life in a way, meeting the moment as the beloved, we could say. I think that's an interest, a deep interest. So we, like resting here, there's an expression of life called Kamal. In the deepest, there's awareness. And there's patterns that play that we call Kamal's personality, Kamal's patterns, whatever. And then there's this expression of life called Isaac at the deepest, just space, awareness. And then there's what is ever left of the patterns and beliefs, ideas, expectations, any of that stuff. So awareness meeting awareness, no problem. Hard to tell where Kamal begins and Isaac ends, where the boundary is.
And if we meet with you with our patterns, we're gonna fight.
If what?
If we
If we
meet with
meet?
our patterns.
Yeah. So then for sure, then there'll be some dance, you could say. Now, what's interesting is if there's an expectation that we meet with our patterns, rather than, okay, we know there'll be some patterns that show up. And those patterns that show up are an opportunity for them to be seen, for them to be seen what they are and to be met. So the difference is I want a good relationship that's always loving and always beautiful, or I want to meet and whatever wants to show itself is welcome. It might be uncomfortable sometimes, it might be very sweet flowing sometimes. Who knows? Not up to us. Very different paradigms, right? So how we've been raised is with the paradigm, okay, let's get together and live happily ever after. I'll make you a whole bunch of promises I can't keep. You make me a whole bunch of promises you can't keep. And then we know where
Yeah,
it
and
goes.
I see your point, and I think when this interaction with someone happened in my life, after this, yeah, probably some pattern got touched or something which I still cannot process fully. Like I had like the biggest disappointment in the way that, okay, I take care of you, I give you love, and you return shit to me. I'll put it simple. Yeah. And so I analyze that situation with the person, understand, okay, that person was very traumatized. I feel compassion for them. Okay. I put him aside. But then I am left with this feeling of not knowing what to do in life because I feel, okay, if love is not appreciated in this world, if nobody actually needs it, people say that I want good stuff, I want love, but actually nobody is able to absorb it. That's how I feel. But then I understand, okay, look at eyes.
Okay, so now let's look at that for a second. Okay. If I say I'm giving you love and I want something back, then it's not a true giving, it's a bargain. It's a transaction, yeah?
Yeah, but my question is a bit more like...
So that's a business deal. I'll love you, and then you have to promise to love me. I'll give you sensuality and sexuality, and you have to promise to give that to me, and only me. Now we have a deal.
I understand the egoistic part about it, but I think my question is more like...
You see, it's just, that's how we've been, that's what we see in all the movies, that's what we like. That's, I'd say for most people in the West, that's the paradigm we've been brought up with. In other countries, it's like, no, it's an arranged marriage. You have to be with this man and you have to serve him. there's many different, ideas about how this moves. Now, we're at a time where it's like, look, I'm interested in meeting sweetly, sensitively, with whatever comes up is welcome. And I'm not interested in trying to control you. I'm not interested in you trying to control me. I'm just here as this presence, exploring, meeting, including, with some people, with some persons it might be, yes, I'm happy to explore sensuality and sexuality and everything, and what it means to live together and how that can flow. But the moment there's expectations, we got trouble. And there will be expectations, both sides. And the moment those expectations don't get met, there'll be hurt. And usually when hurt happens, we blame outward, it's the other person's fault, or we blame ourselves, there's something wrong with me. But we don't see it's just an opportunity to get in touch with something that's been troubling man and womankind forever. So I don't think I'm teaching you anything or telling you anything you don't know. I'm only telling you what you know. I don't think it's, it's either you know it or you don't know it. It's just like,
Yeah, I think while you were talking, I saw that I got stuck in fear of abandonment because all my disappointment, bitterness was not that I want something back, but my expectation was like, okay, if you don't like me, okay, just tell, like, honestly, I'm not holding anyone, sort of. But people try to keep you and give you bad stuff, like, they try to keep you in a bad relationship. That's what I never understood, like, sort of.
yeah. But nobody has that power.
Yeah. So the power was my
No.
fear of abandonment.
Exactly. And when we say my fear of abandonment, it was just like, I would say some insecure attachment from your parents or whatever, and, usually what happens is in most people, we try and deal with it by making agreements and promises and, so that we don't have to ever touch that. But from where I look, it's like, wow, okay, good. Let's see what that is. What does abandonment mean? What does it feel like? What is it actually? Is it real? Can someone actually abandon me? All that they can do is take their attention somewhere else. But then do I abandon myself? Does something happen in me where I'm not just here? So it's like it becomes an inquiry, a very deep inquiry that actually has the potential for huge shifts. Yeah.
Yeah, I think in my case I abandoned me, and also I was left with this self-judgment. Okay, if somebody abandoned me, it means something is terribly wrong with me.
Exactly. So then now we have a chance to see or look at that and go, is that actually true? If someone is, like a pattern kicked in them where they didn't feel safe with you or they felt something, whatever it was, and their system needed to pull away, and we take that personally, then we miss the opportunity. So relating is a fantastic opportunity to come in touch with ideas and beliefs and expectations that normally we don't see. Doesn't mean it's going to be always like Hollywood movies. For sure not.
Maybe thrillers.
Hmm.
And yeah, my question was also like, I noticed that this kind of stuckness in this hurt, it got projected onto my work as well, because okay, fuck these relationships, like, okay, gotta do something in life, gotta and I saw that I was stuck because I felt like, okay, if I start sharing something which I like, which I care about in my work, in some activity, like, who needs it? Nobody needs it. Same as I was sharing with a person good stuff. I didn't do anything bad, but nobody needed it. And so I'm going to do something. Who needs it? It's like useless to do something.
Yeah, so you can see how many layers it touches, yeah? So
Yes.
it's so easy to move into, okay, then I'm not going to do that anymore, and then the world just gets smaller and narrower and like this. But there's an opportunity. Okay, good. Somehow there's been some old information around communication, or let's say that. And so we have the opportunity when we meet here, because we meet, and we have a chance to meet where it's fresh, where there's no, it's not dual, it's not you and me, there's just awareness with awareness. And we can have that experience, you could say the direct experience of that. And from that, we can see there's another possibility that doesn't exist when we're looking through expectations and ideas and old information, you could say, around relationship, all of that. So it's a deep inquiry, and we can go slowly. It's like that. It's like there's no big decisions to make or anything like that. It's just little by little starting to see how it functions. And this whole inquiry around hurt is a big one. Most people have never taken time to explore and see how hurt actually happens and what does it mean and what's the opportunity when hurt shows up.
And you also said this phrase, it touched me, like that there is a difference between like expectation to live your life fully with love and an interest to live your life like this. I would like to understand this deeper, because
the expectation is already a pressure, isn't it? If there's an expectation, there's a pressure. It puts a pressure. And it brings immediately judgment, right and wrong, good and bad. But an interest, it's like, when a child's learning to walk, have you ever seen a child taking the first steps? They fall over, they get up, they fall over. When they fall over, we don't say they made a mistake. It's just part of the learning process. So when we have an interest to meet in a beautiful way, it's like, it doesn't matter how many times we fall over because we're learning. If there's an expectation, is it wrong again? There's something wrong with me, it's very different context.
Okay, I understand this part that about my reaction. But for example, let's say you don't have this reaction anymore, and you share satsang with us, you share love, and if somebody doesn't is not able to accept it, he says, "Oh, Isaac is like bad. He's just talking crap or something." How do you like keep going, keep doing what you want despite this?
I see it has nothing to do with me. They're not talking about me at all. They're talking about some pattern that's going on in them. So, what does it mean about me? Nothing. Doesn't mean it won't be painful. There might be some painfulness in it. Me, but it's pain is fine. It's not a big deal.
Okay, but then the question is that how do I distinguish? Because like when I was touched like this negatively, I was thinking, okay, but I have to explore. Maybe something is actually wrong with me. And I was like going back and forth, but then I realized, but I didn't do anything bad, like for example, to that person. But what if in some situations?
So this idea, there's something wrong with me. What are we talking about? That idea, it's an idea, right? Yeah.
I mean, maybe I made some mistake, but I didn't see it, and
so
now
what
like
are
I
we
want to.
what are we talking about? Are we talking about awareness here? Or are we talking about the personality or the sense of I or the patterns that are not yet seen through? Is that who we are? Or is that just old information in us?
Information.
And does that mean there's something wrong with us? If a computer has a virus or something, does that mean that there's something wrong with the computer, or does it just mean that there's something in the computer that we can find what it is and then debug it? It means nothing about the computer. There's just some other information in the computer. The computer's working perfectly.
So if this thought comes up, is there something wrong with me? Do I just investigate and look, okay, do I see any mistake?
What's me? What's me? Right now, what's me? Whatever's not you, reject it. Leave it. Thoughts that come, are they you?
No.
Feelings? Ideas? Expectations? Confusions?
Those are very dear to my heart.
Okay. Did you get some value from this?
A lot. Thank you so much, Isaac. Your answers are incredible.
You're welcome. Thank you. And you can go to, if you want to go to gallery view for a moment, we can see if this was useful for anybody else. Maybe for some people it had some value. Okay. Cool. So thanks for being vulnerable in this inquiry and taking time to we just looked together. We didn't try and change anything. We didn't try and fix anything. We just looked, okay, how it functions in you, it functions the same in me, and it functions the same in everybody. And to the extent that it starts to become, you start to see it without making it wrong, it's just like something gets clearer, something gets lighter, something gets easier. So that's all. We're here.
Thank you.
Yeah, thank you. Yeah. Thank you all for being here tonight. Bas, thank you very much for hosting again. Love, peace, beauty. Ciao for now.